Hi guys, today we are going to learn about urinary system. So human urinary system is made up of kidneys, ureters, bladder and urethra. This system is important in homeostasis because it has the osmoregulatory and excretory function. So kidneys. Kidneys consist of renal cortex, which is the outer part of the kidneys, renal medulla, which is the inner part of the kidneys, and renal pelvis, which is the innermost part of the kidneys. Kidneys are also known as excretory organ as they excrete nitrogenous compound waste like urea, uric acid, ammonia and creatinine. Other than that, they are also known as osmoregulatory organ as they control the volume of water in body fluids, ion concentration in body fluids, blood osmotic pressure, which is the concentration of dissolved materials, and the volume of blood and body fluids. Lastly, they control the electrolyte content or mineral side in our blood and the pH of blood and body fluids. Now let's take a look at this diagram. This diagram shows us the cross-section of kidneys. As you can see, renal artery carries oxygenated blood from the heart to the kidneys. In the kidneys, oxygenated blood will undergo three different processes, which is ultrafiltration, reabsorption and secretion. The urine form will flow into the pelvis and then will be channeled to the bladder through the ureters and then will be removed from human's body through the urethra. What about the blood? The blood become deoxygenated blood, and then the renal vein carries the oxygenated blood from the kidneys back to the heart.
So now we should know about nephrons. Each kidney is made up of millions of nephrons. Where is it? So the nephron is divided into two parts. The upper part is called cortex, and the inner side here is called medulla. There are three structures of nephrons, which is Bowman's capsule, glomerulus and renal tubule. The first process is ultrafiltration in Bowman's capsule. Blood entering the glomerulus is under high hydrostatic pressure and it causes the ultrafiltration to occur. The fluid seeps through the walls of glomerulus into the Bowman's capsule and now the fluid is called glomerular filtrate. The glomerular filtrate consists of white blood cells. The second process is reabsorption at the proximal convoluted tubules. The dissolved substance permeates across renal tubular wall into the blood capillary. Sodium ions are pumped into the blood capillary and chloride ions are passively absorbed. Next, reabsorption at the loop of Henle. The water is reabsorbed through osmosis process and the sodium ions are reabsorbed through active transport. And then we go to reabsorption at distal convoluted tubules. There are more water, sodium, and chloride ions are reabsorbed. Next is secretion process. This process occurs along renal tubule and collecting duct through simple diffusion and active transport, and it's secreting hydrogen ions, potassium ions, ammonium ions, urea, creatinine, toxic and drug. This process also regulates the levels of ions in our blood. So the last formation of urine is urine formation. Renal fluid that reach the collecting ducts in the condition of less salt that left and most water that absorbed into the bloodstream. The remaining renal fluid, which is urine, flows down to the collecting duct and the small amount of urea diffuses into surrounding fluid and blood capillaries. So urine contains water, urea, sodium chloride salt, uric acid and creatinine. Urine flows through ureter, bladder, urethra and excreta.
So now I'm going to talk about mechanism of homeostasis and osmoregulation. The body's water content constantly changes depending on the intake of food and water. Osmoregulation is the process of regulating water and salts in the body so that the blood osmotic pressure can be maintained at a normal range. Osmoregulation is achieved by regulating the volume of urine produced by the kidney. There are two ways to achieve normal blood osmotic pressure. First, drinking too much water. When you drink too much water, the blood osmotic pressure drops to below normal range. It causes the osmoreceptors in the hypothalamus less stimulated. When the osmoreceptors are less stimulated, the pituitary gland is less stimulated too, so less ADH is secreted from the pituitary gland. So, what is ADH concentration? ADH concentration is a hormone made by the hypothalamus in the brain and stored in the posterior pituitary gland. It tells your kidneys how much water to conserve. ADH constantly regulates and balances the amount of water in your blood. High water concentration increases the volume and pressure of your blood. But in this case, the blood osmotic pressure is below the normal range. So, low ADH concentrations cause the walls of the distal convoluted tubule and collecting duct to become less permeable to water. Less water is reabsorbed from the renal fluid into the blood capillary. Then, less concentrated urine is generated in high volumes. After that, the blood osmotic pressure returns to normal range. Second way to achieve normal blood osmotic pressure is to drink little water or loss of water due to vigorous activity. When you drink too little water or loss of water, blood osmotic pressure increases above the normal range. When the blood osmotic pressure are above the normal range, the osmoreceptors are stimulated. When the osmoreceptors are stimulated, the pituitary gland is stimulated too, so more ADH is secreted from the pituitary gland. High ADH concentrations are produced and cause the walls of the distal convoluted tubule and the collecting duct to become more permeable to water. More water is absorbed from the renal fluid into the blood capillary. Then, urine that is very concentrated and low in volume is generated. After that, the blood osmotic pressure returns to normal range. Next, I'm gonna talk about health issues related to urinary system. Kidney failure can be caused of illness, bacterial infections, or accidents. One of the kidney problems are kidney stone. Some of the substances in the kidney stones are uric acid, calcium oxalate, and crystalline calcium phosphate.